I actually grew up in a family plagued by 3 generations of addiction, and I had 12 family members who have struggled or are currently struggling with addiction and substance abuse. So my father actually was an addict who was addicted to alcohol and opioids, and 3 years ago he took his own life. And that was a huge wake-up call for me. But 2 years prior to that, I had actually lost my half-brother to suicide as well. And he had his own battles with addiction. So it's just run rampant in my family. And my grandfather was actually an alcoholic who died in a car accident when my father was 14. And so I never even was able to meet my grandfather. And so it's just I've been surrounded by it for a very long time. And I wanted to bring awareness to the topic because for so long I was either ashamed or embarrassed to even speak about it, or didn't know that other people around me were dealing with the same family struggles that I was. And right now, 1 in 3 households are facing addiction that were just like mine. And 142 people are dying every single day from opioid overdose. And so it is a huge national emergency right now that needs to be talked about, whether that is mental health and dealing with depression and suicide, or the addiction rates that are, skyrocketing. And through my platform and my journey as Miss Tennessee and becoming Miss Tennessee, I've raised over $40,000 for substance abuse prevention and recovery efforts, as well as helped fund babies who are born dependent on opioids or dependent on drugs, which is, they have a syndrome called neonatal abstinence syndrome. And right now, every 25 minutes, a baby is born dependent on drugs. And so I've been able to help the tiniest to, grandfathers that are going through recovery right now. And so I've tried to hit every market because, unfortunately, addiction does not discriminate. And it is no longer the homeless man on the street. It is your next door neighbor, your dad, your brother. I mean, it's so unfortunate, but we need to be talking about it, or people aren't going to get help. And right now, only 1 out of 10 people are getting the recovery process and treatment that they need. So as Miss Tennessee, I have the opportunity to partner with Governor Haslam and Tennessee's Commissioner on Substance Abuse, and I get to speak to over 70,000 students this year on ridding and erasing that stigma of addiction through education. Because addiction, that I have learned over and over again, is a disease. It is a brain disease, and it is not a choice or a moral failing. So because this opioid epidemic is so, I said last night, pervasive, and it is across the whole nation, in my state and in New Jersey, that we need to be talking about it.